Viewers, let us have today some discussion on Buddhist Vajrayana tradition, which is a rarely known in the proper way, and in Vajrayana tradition Kalachakra tantra, which is a unique contribution of Buddhism to tantric Buddhism to us. Today we have Professor Suniti Kumar Pathak from Shantiniketan, who is a very well known scholar of Tibetan Buddhism. He was formerly professor and head of Sino-Tibetan Studies Department in Shantiniketan. Indo-Tibetan Studies Department in Shantiniketan. He was dean in Shantiniketan. He is recipient of President Award, and he has extensively published various articles on Tibetan Buddhism, as well as Vajrayana tradition is his expertise. Sir, please enlighten us, what is Kalachakra Tantra of Vajrayana Buddhism?
Let me first explain what is tantra. Tantra, as usual we understand, it is a secret practice, esoteric practice within the few. But what for? Main objective just to extend my efficiency not only on the human society, not only in the world itself, even to the worlds, even to the cosmic worlds, even to the worlds of the, just in Bhagavad Gita you will find what is the Vishwarupa. Innumerable worlds are there in our understanding, and that had been calculated and experienced. Similarly, the Buddhists and the Jainas developed their high cosmological knowledge, and that cosmological knowledge was related to the time and space and the correlation between the time, space and the human beings. So, it is almost a triangle, because from my birth up to my death, actually I am in the process of going. There is no death in Buddhism. It is only a continuity, because every person wants to go to be the perfect. I will be Buddha, and I am Buddha. So, how can I recognize myself Buddha when my whole mind will be clean like a crystal, sphatika? Because our mind is the only factor. So, Kalachakra actually interprets the human potential with the time context, space context and the universal context.
Sir, how it is different from Upanishadic tradition and also Jaina tradition, because they too have the space-time dimension.
Yes. Actually, we cannot discriminate. This is Buddhist, this is Jain, and this is only our limitation of the mind. When I speak of the time, go to Atharva Veda. Atharva Veda gives the full narration of the time and how this goes. Even from the Rig Veda, when I say that dhata yathavusham akalpayat, what is that? Surya, Chandra, Ratri, all this. So, all these things you may find in our Indian concept of time. Please take the time as one of the conditioning factor of the universe, whether visible or invisible, whether static or movable. Jain discusses movable and immovable, but they could not ignore the time. So, time is the primary factor that makes a small child to a young person, and from young person makes him old. So, the time is a continuity, it has unceasing flow, it has no stoppage. Only we periodize in kalpa, yuga and all these things. So how these quantum of the human potential be extended all over the universe in the unlimited time and unfathomless space, that is the Kalachakra Tantra. That is why it is Tantra.
On the one hand, we have been told that Buddhists believe in Anityata and Kshanikata. How Kalachakra Tantra is related to Kshanikata and Anityata, sir?
You say, can you look up at the time? Nobody can find out, but only our watch and particularly the sport watch can say that the one fraction of the second passes away. So the Anityata goes, that proves by the sport watch. But when we look at the time, it is immeasurable as a whole, but when we make it samaya, when we make it limited kalpa, when we make it the pala, and when we make it the bipala, and all this way when we go, then we kala, all these things we have. So kala and kalo are actually coming from the two words, putting the a before la and before after la. Now you can understand the correlation between the kalo and kala. So kalayati iti kalo, that makes go. So Anityata is not been debarred by accepting the Kalachakra Tantra, rather it gives the promotion to understand what is Anityata, how the time, because I see thy watch, my time passes away, that means I am more approaching to my way.
Will you please enlighten us about the word chakra in Kalachakra?
Oh, chakra is in Buddhist thought is a very wide idea. Let us first go to Euclid. Straight line, perpendicular, perpendicular upward, then again down vertical, and then triangle, then quadrangle, then rectangle, then square. So why don't you take the wheel? Start from Dhamma chakra. That means which is no dimension other than circumambulation. The circumambulation is the life. It is the santati is not in a perpendicular way nor in the horizontal way, but it is in the circular way, so that where from it starts, there from it ends. So that is why we are to go the prachitta samutpada, the very saying. Even you will wonder that even the Kalachakra interprets the prachitta samutpada in its own way. That is very interesting. Kalachakra has got its own interpretation of the prachitta samutpada, the law of dependent origination.
So how Kalachakra Tantra is a unique contribution of Vajrayana Buddhism?
What Vajrayana Buddhism gives? He teaches me how to render the altruistic service for the community, for the persons who are suffering, who are in the misery, to get rid of them. That is the primary attempt. Just paramita will take long time, and Vajrayana will, mantranaya will help me to reach. I come by flight, one comes by train. I come within a short time, one comes by late. So you see, it is only the question of time. Again I am coming to time. So you see, when I accept the Kalachakra, Vajrayana, then I take the more quicker way to arrive my goal. So because I am to be perfect, I am to be Buddha. So how quickly I can become the Buddha?
So can you say that it is a science of time rather than of extension?
Yes, it is actually a science of time with the relativity of the changeableness of the doctrine of the prachitta samutpada, the dependent origination. This is a very unique interpretation. The 12 prachitta samutpada limbs actually refers to the 12 Sankrantis, beginning from Pusha up to the Margashirsha.
So it is a Buddhist calendar? can
Yes,
we say?
it is a Buddhist calendar, and not only the calendar, I may say that every step of the Buddhist thought has got relation. Every utterance of the letter in Buddhist diction, in Buddhist literature, has got its Kalachakra quantum or measurement, or you can say Kalachakra compliance.
So,
It is a very interesting subject. But unfortunately, all the things are lost in ours. Only we have some commentaries in Sanskrit, that is the Bimala Prabha commentary of the Lokhu Kalachakra. The Mula Kalachakra Tantra has been lost, but that is also lost in Tibetan. Only a few texts have come, and we are to make a fresh search how these Kalachakra mathematics had developed in our country with full-fledged mathematical, astronomical, rather cosmological completeness.
so it is on the one hand Buddhist mathematics,
Yes.
but on the other hand Buddhist astrology as well.
Also self-innovation, not self-reproduction. I can evaluate myself, innovate myself with reference to how this Sankranti goes and what are the letters are to be put. Because all these, when I read these 10 syllables, the Haksha, Mala, Bara, Yang, this symbol gives me the potential, but these are all semivowels, very interestingly. No, all the vowels are latent in it. Even so, there you find a very interesting combination of the speech, matter in the time process, and mind in a culminated and one form. So, the whole thing of the unification of the matter, mind and speech comes to the, that is why it is Advaita Tantra, no duality, no plurality, it is the complete perfectness, and that is the Yoganadhata of completion.
So, how will you say that it is different from and a unique contribution of Buddhist in understanding oneself?
Because I am in the passage of time, since my birth up to my changeover. I do not use the word death, because Jara Marana, Daumanasya, actually Marana is not the state, it is only Daumanasya. So, I am in the Sumanasya, but due to my avidya, I am in the Durmanasya. So, that changeover state, it is a continuity, Shantati. So, this continuity, I am to go to the goal. Goal is my perfection, to be Buddha. The Bodhi, how can I awaken? I do not like to live in a slumber with hardly-worldly dreams. Dreaming from the object, dreaming for the building, dreaming for my food, all these are dreams, nightmare. So, let me awaken. For the awakening, I think the Kalachakra has more social value than any other thoughts of the Buddhism itself.
So, it is also having some kind of importance in society.
Yes, it is, because society is also changeable. Society has got also its objective. Society has also the journey from imperfection to perfection. So, so all these changes are only caused by the time. Take it for the case of even our India. What we had in the pre-British period and what we had in the British period and what we have in our national republic. So, this changeability goes by the wheel of the time, by the wheel of understanding how we can socialize ourselves in the process of the time context, space context in relation to our human mind, visible matter and our expressions.
Thank you very much, sir, for enlightening us on Buddhist concept of culturing, nurturing oneself along with time. Thank you, sir.